Hello, my friends. It's a beautiful day in Geneva, and we've gotten what could probably be the toughest set of games to start our season back up in the Super League that you could have asked for. We've had some changes around the club, some really good, some not so much. I got a list of notes that we're going to go through. Let's hop right in to today's episode. All right, welcome back. It's Season 3, Episode 1. Technically, we're at the end of Season 2, and I'm going to show you the commercial summary. But then I'm going to magically hop us ahead into the future to look at the transfers, some things going on at the club. So we got promoted, right? We're up into the Super League. And my goodness, my friends, 5.5 million in euros sponsorship, up from 1.79. Stadium sponsor has gone up 400 grand. I'm surprised we had zero broadcast revenues, like at all, like zero, nothing. You know, obviously had some more match day and some competition prize money and stuff like that. But obviously the massive differences in sponsorship dollars. I want to show you as well. Willie, Emery, Malonga, Wuthrich, and Stevanovic, all our top players there in the midfield and attacking midfield and strikers. Only 210,000 in merchandise sales, with 10%. What is it? 10% of that being non-domestic. So let's go look at the finances now. We're up to 8.4 million. Quite the difference from back here, right? And again, a big chunk of that is going to be, I guess, like we got promoted, and so when you get promoted and you get the third largest stadium in Switzerland, people give you money. We have someone paying 302 grand to put their logo on our shorts. That's hilarious. Additional kit sponsor. This is the same thing we've had. We've had a ground sponsor. Again, this is from last year. Yeah, no, until maybe they renewed. I remember going like, why are there so many ground sponsors? But maybe it's because it's so large. Because it's like 30,000 seater. Not many people coming to it, but and one additional club partner in a deal totaling 434 per season. Like I don't know what that means. They just give us money. They go on the programs. They're on the radio for it. I don't know. Main kit, ground, additional kit sponsor. Was that like like we got the main logo here and then another one like here or something like that? I don't know. But obviously that's significant. That is a massive difference, and obviously that helps us afford our budget when it comes to payroll and all that kind of stuff. So now that we've done that, let's hop ahead as my garage door opens. I'm sure you can hear that on the mic, to transfers and all that good stuff. All right, so I told you towards the end of last episode that I definitely thought we had some issues getting, like, in terms of now that we've been promoted, we've got to watch, some things. And primarily I was worried about our left back, right back, and center back positions. So let's go take a look at what we've got here. So first we have the outs. We have sold Stephen Lang for 140 grand to SV Grodig, and I don't know if it was a good deal. He's a 400K now, but he's 31. He's not very determined, so I couldn't use him for tutoring. And at 31, he's going to turn 32 this season. He's going to start falling apart, is how I felt about it. So he did a great job for us. 719, 21 appearances, 4 goals, 5 assists, 3 players of the match. He did a great job. Like, no complaints about him whatsoever. But he just, and I didn't know he had previously been with the club on loan. I just felt like it was time to cash in while we could. So we've sold him for 140 grand. There may have been some add-ons or something like that, but I don't think there is because there's no thing. But 140 grand I think is a fair value. He was worth like 110 or something like that. So we got more than he was worth. Now he's worth, triple what they paid us for him. We've loaned out Dejan Georgiev for 1,000 euros a month. And I may have just said 140,000 pounds for Lang. I meant euros. My brain, it goes. Up and comer, 18 years old, wasn't going to be able to start for us. We've got Willie, Stevanovic, De Silva. We've got good wing options, and so I wanted to get him, a year of good experience. Now his report says he's well suited to Challenge League soccer, and that's where we loaned him. We loaned him to Rapperswil, who were one of our opponents last season, and they finished in 6th, so they could use some help. He's going to go out, and he's on a key player contract. So he should be playing a lot, which is what I think he needs to really start developing some of these attributes. He's got phenomenal acceleration and pace. So again, he's kind of like another Willie, just needs to up his technicals and some other things. But I thought it was a pretty good deal, and they are paying his full contract value and giving us an extra $1,000 a month on top of it. We let Ryan Villard, who's one of your youngsters, go. Not really important, to Freiburg, which is not Freiburg in Germany. It's Freiburg in Switzerland. So, with a 19 rating from our scouts, probably a good idea to let him go on a free. And then we've loaned out Timo Ribeiro, who I thought might get a chance in the team, but he's just not very good. So we've loaned him out for free just to see if he can develop. He's got another couple of years on his contract, so he kind of needs to make a move. So he's at Konis, which is in the Challenge League as well. Looks like they just got promoted. Yes, so they're hoping they can solidify their back line by bringing him in, and he's on a first team contract, so he should be playing a lot. So we got 2 players loaned out to the Challenge League. I thought that was okay, but we don't care about that, right? We're here for this. David Carmo, 300 grand, because we get the massive amount of money from sponsorships. Our transfer budget is 2.5 million, and I spent some of the money. So David Carmo is a Portuguese left back, but he can also play a little bit of defensive midfield and in a pinch midfield, maybe a pinch, central defense. 3-star current ability, potentially 5-star. Picked him up from Cova da Piedade, who paid 49.5 for him. So they got, quite the good return on him. He gave him 34 appearances in Liga 2 Ledman, whatever that is, and a 6.89. So he's definitely Portuguese. Used to be a Benfica youngster. But for a left back for us, he's not the best crosser of the ball. A little bit more just like a defensive left back. But he's 20, and he's got really good physicals, green physicals. He's not like 15 or 16 pace or anything like that. But he's got pretty good mentals to go with it. Just needs to work on some of these technicals. And I got him on a rotation contract. The only problem is when we got promoted, we're now paying lots of money to people versus our starters from last season. So when their contracts come up, I'm expecting the wage budget to really go up. So I'm trying not to spend it all right now. So in terms of comparison, he's on the same level as William Lepalgam, except Lepalgam is 26, and he's now on a 2.2 grand contract on a backup. So we kind of flip-flopped him. Nobody's expecting first team minutes, so that's good. And again, Lepalgam is not bad. He's got pretty similar physicals. Mentals are all right, and some of his technicals are good. So it's not like he's terrible. He wanted a backup contract. So I kind of feel like we can give this David guy some time to develop, and work on his technicals, and Lepalgam is there and still happy just to be part of the team. I also thought, since we're playing in the Super League, we might play a bit more defensively or counterattacking, because we're not exactly going to smash teams, I don't think, like we were in the league below. So I was thinking more like a 4-1-2-3, because we played that when we really needed to play counterattacking, in the Challenge League. So we wanted to solidify that position, because we had Hasanovic, and he's all right, but he's like 2.5 star and just he's all right. He's not great. So we picked up Alex Fernandez, who's a 31-year-old Spanish player. We picked him up for 450, not 15 grand from Pontevedra, where he had 42 appearances, 10 goals, 10 assists, 8 players of the match on a 7-1-5. Again, that's a Segunda Division B1. It's not like he's in the top division or anything like that, but he's quite good. I mean, he's 31, so we gave him a 2-year deal, because I'm figuring in 2 years his physicals are going to start falling off, and he'll slowly just start working his way back towards central defense or something like that. But in terms of a deep line playmaker, a segundo volante, even just a regular old defensive midfielder, I'd like to, Romy playmaker is an option. Like he has a bunch of different roles he could play, but giving us somebody in that DM spot that's actually kind of a natural there. Again, he's our best midfielder at this point, and our second best defensive midfielder. So we could put Granddaddy back there, because that's where his position defaults to, and put him on a ball-winning midfielder. That's an option. And put Fernandez up here in, whatever, deep line playmaker. We have a bunch of different options, and maybe he could play the box-to-box. So we have some options there in the midfield, and I thought he was definitely worth the pickup. 2.7 grand. Again, we've got players that are getting paid more significantly than previous editions of the team. And then Carlin's Arcus is going to be a little bit more of, we're just going to see how it works out. We picked him up on a free. So all we're costing ourselves is wages. We're paying him 1.2K on a backup contract. central defense / he's more of a natural right back. He's 23 and he's a Haitian international. Not fantastic, but like it says he's worse than Fernandez, who's like the defensive midfielder, and obviously Sautier. He could play, center defense. I liked his physicals, and I thought his technicals weren't terrible. He needs to work on some of the mentals, but I thought with him being 23, it's a bit of a punt, and we've got the money now to be able to afford to go on a bit of a punt with folks. I really needed somebody on the right side because we have. That's not even. I'm clicking everywhere. We have released Saleh Sarr. He was getting homesick. He wanted to go back to France. He's 33. His physicals, he's rated 38 by our scouts now. He did a good job for us, like a great player for us. Both seasons over a 7, but he wanted to go home. I couldn't get him a transfer move, and his contract was up, and we weren't going to pay him like a huge wage rise because that's what he was going to ask for with us being in the Super League. So I thought best to let him go. So that's why I kind of feel like in comparison to Saleh, the guy I just showed you, Carlins, is a bit similar, right? Like he could play central defense. He can also play right back. Not exceptionally well, but he's a decade younger, and so he's got some time to develop. So you may have also noticed there we've released Fabry because he was our other defensive mid option, and once we brought in Alex and he suddenly wasn't very good, he just never really got off the bench for us. Never really developed in training. It could be my fault. I don't know, but he's gone. The other not big one is David Gonzalez finished up his contract. That's the guy who never wanted to leave his contract as the goalkeeper on the second team, which was good. And now he wants to be a coach, and he's really bad at that too. Leo Lecaru, who was a goalkeeper for us, a prospect, out of contract. We kept him because we were a little iffy there for a little bit on goalkeepers and just said, you know what? Let's just let him go. Now, Nujatel Zamax has picked him up for 775 weeks. So he's gotten quite the little handy raise there. He never got out of our U21s or the second team, and now they picked him up and they're paying him a nice wage budget. So congrats, Leo. And Nadim Omar Ergit, who you would never have seen, he just wasn't very good. And Luzerne has picked him up. That's kind of in the Super League. That's interesting. As a backup on 600 a week. He's only a 28 rating. I mean, he could develop. The other reason was he was taking up one of our foreign player slots, and he wasn't very good. No, he wasn't. He was on the youth team. He wasn't very good. That's why we let him go. We picked up another scout, Stefano Mestrini, who's got 16 adaptability, 10 and 10. He knows Italy quite well. Maybe we signed him to Italy, maybe, and we picked up a U21 data analyst. Loan deals. Okay, that's what's going on there. So let's look at the schedule, because I told you the schedule was probably as bad as it could get. So we start with FC Basel, who have won the league 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9 times out of the last decade. That's our first game back in the Super League, followed by Young Boys, who have come in second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Yep. 6 out of the last 10 years. That's good. And then we get a team that finished 7th, like a middle of the table team. So yeah, not the best way to start the season. So we're gonna play Basel today, and then the next episode we'll just do one live com today because we had a bunch of transfer stuff to go over and all that kind of stuff. We'll play in the Schweizer Cup first round. This is the tactic that we're bringing out today. I do have Hasanovic. Yeah, because we have some injuries. I got to get refamiliarized here. Granddaddy's out with a pulled groin. Is that where your groin is? I was thinking this is more your groin. Anyway, he's got a pulled groin, so we have some different players. Oh, and Ameri is out. That's the gutting thing. Ameri is out with sprained knee ligaments for 2 days. We gave him a massive deal. He's up to $3,000 a week. He's worth $1.2 million. we avoided a release clause, stuff like that. He's 19, like, but just it's gutting that he's injured. So now against the team that's won the league 90% of the time the last 10 years, we have Hasanovic, who's okay and has a chance to develop. He's he's all right. Cespedes, who's meh. And Alex Fernandez, who is really the guy I thought as a defensive midfielder, but he's, of the options we have available, he's the best advanced playmaker we have. Stevanovic, Willie, Campuzano, I meant to tell you, can now round the keeper. So thank you again to J.R. Bessie for pointing out things like, hey, he's not very tall, he can't head, you might as well, he's fast, he can dribble, let's try going around the keeper. That's worked out. And we can now scout the world. That was the other update. Oh, there's another update besides that. We have updates everywhere. We can now scout the world. The board finally got around. This was it said like it was going to be next October, but I think they were just waiting for us to get the money. And now that we have the money, they've actually started upgrading the training facilities. It costs $2 million, so that's knocked our. Maybe we already paid for it. Maybe we paid for it at the end of last season before the sponsorship came in. I know this date moved up, and I know I wrote down it cost 2 million euros. So okay. We're improving our training facilities, whatever that means. And last, but definitely not least, we have reconfirmed Nathan on loan from Palmeiras. They wanted, what was it? It was going to be like 500 grand. Like I made an offer of like 400. They're like a little bit higher. So I offered him 500 grand, but he wanted between 7,000 and 10,000 euros a week, plus like some 40,000 euros agent fee, and all kinds of clauses, and like just absolutely insane. So instead, I was tempted to do it because we had the money. And it's like, you know what? He's kind of been, I mean, he hasn't been a world beater, really. When I've looked at his stats for the last season, he's not been, I mean, he's 7.11, so I'm not saying he's terrible, but like, he's been solid. But he hasn't been like, I don't know, pick your favorite, center back. He's not Otamendi. He's not Kyle Walker. He's good, and he's been really solid for us. But I thought that was a big gamble, like 500 grand plus like the incredibly high wages, plus agent fees. It was going to be like, we're going to, just in like the fees and the clauses, it was going to cost us like 750 grand. Instead, they've loaned him to us for less than they loaned him to us last season, which I don't understand. It's 20% of his contract. His contract is 3,500. So we're paying him 700 a week, and we've locked him in for 2 years. That's massive news. I don't know why they did that. Because maybe it was because we backed out of the transfer deal. And they're like, hey, we'll go easy on you. I don't know. And I said, hey, like, let's see what the loan offer option looks like. And it said, they would let him go on loan for 20% of his wages. I was like, okay, like, sweet. Can play in cup matches, cannot be recalled. That's important. So he is definitely ours for 2 more years. And by then, hopefully we've developed somebody else. Like Baba Suare maybe could take his spot. He's got really bad technicals, but from just a defensive back or defensive center back, he's an option. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting. From 7 to 10,000 a week in wages plus 500 grand out of pocket plus a bunch of clauses to 700 a week. Okay, if that's what you want to do, man, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. We've been sniffing around for some goalkeepers. We have not picked one up, so we're still going to stick with Gurgley, which is the best name ever. He's on loan for another year, and then we'll have to see what happens. I tried to buy him, and they wanted $11.5 million. And it was like, okay, no, we're not going to do that. We don't have $11.5 million. So let's go ahead and get this over with. Yeah, that's the mentality. Boys, let's go get this over with. Playing the best team in Switzerland. I'm just going to go ahead and get my earbuds here. Oh boy. Congrats to Aral for staying in the league last season. We are going to start Campuzano. He's kind of taking the longest spot, although Malanga is like the steady head. Like, he's still got really good physicals. Technicals and mentals not great, but it's not like he's not going to play. Victor here, He's got the good physicals and the mentals, and he's really good, and he's got the potential, and he's 22. So we want to be giving him games so he can develop. That's, I guess, my mentality. And I think I showed this to you, but we played Ajax and Kopenhagen in the Friendly Cup final. We won both of those games at Ajax's stadium. We'll take your money, 140 grand. Thank you very much. And played a small team before we got into the league here. So let's get to it. He says super excitedly. Oh boy. Let's prove a point. Great job, David Cisa. Great job. What's the thinking behind that? That we have injuries, really. Yeah, if we don't end, it's not the end of the world. We're at home, so I'm curious to see. I didn't see it on the first screen. Maybe I missed it. How many people show up? Because now we're in the Super League. Because part of this is we got this 30,000 seater, and we had like 2,800, maybe 3,000 people show up. Oh, there's people over here. There's nobody over here. Oh, there's people down there. All right, so we'll have to see. Like, even getting to 5,000 people would be a huge boon to us. Our season tickets, I want to say doubled. I'll have to show that to you if I can remember at the end of the episode. And if I don't, when I go to edit this, I'll remember and then I'll write it down. And we'll show you the one after that. We've already had a shot. It was off target, but that's okay. Okay, Mafui down to Willie. Okay. Tries to clear it. Doesn't work. Sautier. Oh, that's poor. Oh, that was a shot and a half. They've got an injury. What's going on with their dude here? Huh? Ooh, okay, we're going to tightly mark him and close him down because he's injured, which is probably going to pull somebody out of position and result in a goal for one of their wingers or their attacking midfielder in the center of the park. But that's okay. We've had, it's 5 minutes in, 6 minutes in. We've got 65% possession, boys. Feeling good. Schmid. Maybe everybody's intimidated by the empty stadium. Maybe that's part of the allure. Huh? Oh, you could have gone out there, mate. You could have. Okay. All right. That's just a little. Now I'm interested about the attendance, because again the final. Okay, lads, it's not gone well. That's part of saving this club, is getting the fans back to the stadium, because they're not coming right now because the club's had so many financial woes. Is that okay? It's not Stephen Lang. I was like, is that Lang? Because that would be dirty. Must be another Lang, unless Grundvig or whatever it is loaned him out. Oh, okay, Hasanovic, nice job, son. Getting your foot in there, dropping back into that back line as the defensive mid. That's a terrible, terrible, terrible delivery. Okay, Willie. It's like we only have one man up top. You're gonna kick it to the guy that's surrounded by 3 players, and it's not even really towards him. This is a long highlight. Surely it's a goal. Watch. Yep. Who is that? Carmo, come on, son. Nathan? Oh. Okay, that was not fair. He kind of like floated. He bent the space-time continuum. Lovely. Yeah, I don't want to watch that. Oh, it's a right back Lang, so that's not our Lang. They've not mysteriously loaned Stephen Lang and put him, unless they put him in right back, in which case, more power to them. But they must have looked for the overlap on, right? So maybe we can clear the ball to the flanks after they score a free kick goal. It's just not very fair. You get promoted and your first game is against the champions, and the second game is against second place. This is unreal. Willie, can he get it to Victor? Or is he just going to take it himself? No, he's going to have to. He's going to cross it. Campuzano! On the counterattack, they push forward with their fullbacks. We catch them out. Campuzano with the volley. That was a great little run of play there, right? Like, Willie with still the good pace, all the space in the world, and then that guy should probably be a little bit closer to Campuzano. But nice job kind of floating a little bit towards the far post. Concentrate for the last minute, boys. Come on. A draw would be lovely. We would be pro draw. Yep. Their efforts were excellent. Yes, they don't. Why don't they care, boys? You've got what it takes, everybody. Yes. Oh, extremely delighted. Well, we'll just leave you be, Victor. I mean, to be fair, you scored against Basel, so I'd be extremely delighted too. Until they scored again. Ajeti. Come on, boys. Come on. Oh. Bua. Oh, go get it, Santiago. The ball's just sitting there. Oh, and they somehow have gotten it. Oh, it's off. Oh. Ball's just kind of sitting there. Nobody wants to go for it. Zufi. Oh, it's like they're professional and everything. Let's clear the ball to the flanks. Hopefully those fullbacks continue to push up. I mean, again, if I wasn't expecting to win this game. Let's just give it. See, this is what annoys me. You go to encourage your team or something, and it's like here's an analysis or an update or something, and it makes it disappear on you, which is unfortunate. Sautier. Come on, boys. Fernandez, the advanced playmaker / defensive midfielder, assessment has all kinds of space. Gets a. Oh, I thought that went in. Stepanovich kicks it wide. Okay, I was gonna sub, but Willie is gonna take a free kick apparently. Nate, oh, It's not offside. It's not offside. It's not offside. Okay, here's what I'm thinking, lads. Hasanovich, are you left or right-footed? You're left-footed. Lovely. You go here. Fernandez is going to drop back. He's right only. You come here, play the box-to-box. You can be an anchor man. That's fine. Be a little Will Ferrell action up in here. We're going to bring on Wuthrich, who can definitely play left midfield. I'm just going to make it a little more defensive, as you can see. Let's play structured, and we're actually going to put on some discipline. We're still clearing to the flanks. Maybe Wuthrich can get up there, but Willie is there, and we want to rely on his pace if we can. The back line, oh boys, it's let's just go defensive center back. Like, don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Carmo not playing well. We can bring on Lapagum here in a little bit. I'm just going to say, yep, yeah, I believe in you, yada, yada, yada. Drawing against Basel at home is a win in my book. Let's tighten up. We'll make another sub here in a minute. That back line is just woof. It's pouring down the rain. Willie, over to Wuthrich. Wuthrich is very versatile, which is a good and bad thing, because he usually has been playing attacking midfield in the center. That's a... What are you doing? Oh, Suche. Instead of Sucky. Suche? Maybe? Boys? Boys? Oh, that's... That was lovely. And let's make those changes again. Do. Yeah, let's put Willie on attack. And now we'll clear the ball to the flanks and to the right. This is a lot of clicking, I understand. Carmo has not had a great little, welcome to the team. So he's going to go sit down, actually. And besides that, I think we've pretty much done what we can. Oh, I thought putting two defensive midfielders and putting our fullbacks on defend and dropping a winger would actually help us out, but it's not done diddly, and now they're going to score another one off of set piece. And I think I forgot to take it off of structured. Let's go flexible. Let's get rid of our discipline, lads. It's raining. We'll go more direct passing. Okay. You're both playing terrible. Welcome in. That's kind of disappointing, to be honest with you. But we've saved our goal differential, potentially. Just the one. It's not like a 9-0 beatdown. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do against top of the table? Don't be too hard. It was... Yep. I agree with that. We're not going to be hard on them. Okay, my friends. We're going to come back. We'll figure out who we're playing in the Cup first round. We'll play them and somebody else that hopefully isn't first or second. If you've enjoyed that episode, make sure you hit the like button. Let me know what you think about the sponsorship dollars and the transfers. And we'll see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Check out this other stuff too. Other series. Yada, yada, yada.